Hello, book connectors. Beware. If you have triggers or if you have young children in the house with you, living with you, or are you around young children, this particular video you may need to skip because the subject matter is dark and disturbing. I won't be offended if you don't watch. Not like I would know if you did, but if you don't watch, I will not be offended. But if you do feel like you can handle watching the video, it's very short. So I still highly recommend that you do not watch it in the presence of children. Now on with the video. Hello, book connectors. Welcome to the Book Connection. I am your host, Blue-EyedBlackDevil, and I'm here with another installment of About the Author. So, book lovers, you know how you can get in a reading slump sometimes and nothing is really catching and holding your interest. And then in my case, I went back and reread several books waiting for something to jolt me into starting to take notes and things again. So, like toward the late end of last year, I found myself reading a lot of contemporary fictional books. So I noticed that I was starting to get burned out on those. So I reached back and I selected someone who I'd never read anything by that person, but I had heard of that person. And that's how I ended up reading that person's biography. And the subject of this installment of About the Author is none other than Sexton. This is probably one of the shortest videos that I'll ever do. I think it's somewhere between 10 and 11 minutes or less. And the commentary is going to be longer than the content. But oh well, I'm giving you all the best that I have, book connectors. So with that being said, sit back, make sure no children are around, and prepare to watch the video. Anne Sexton, born Anne Gray Harvey on November 9th, 1928, to parents Clarence and Mary Harvey in Newton, Massachusetts. The youngest of three daughters, Anne set out on her journey to carve a niche for herself in her life. And so she went and she did a little modeling along the way to help pay her bills. And, she always found time or made time to write. And it eventually paid off because in 1967, she won the Pulitzer Prize in Poetry for her book, Live or Die. Now, let's talk about her works for a little bit. Her works were known as, well, I don't even know if this is a type or a category of poetry, but it's known as confessional poetry. I have never heard of that. But it's called confessional poetry because she, Anne, wrote extensively about her highly personal day-to-day struggles or battles with mental illness, specifically bipolar disorder. She wrote a lot about intentionally deleting herself and just wanting to be anywhere but where she was. Now, along the way, sometime throughout her career, she met and befriended fellow poet Sylvia Plath. Sylvia was born in 1932. So Anne was 4 years older than Sylvia, but whenever they met, they became fast friends, and they remained friends until Sylvia intentionally deleted herself, which was in 1963. Okay, personal life. In 1948, Anne married Alfred Sexton II, and together they had 2 daughters. The oldest daughter, Linda Grace Sexton, born in 1953, and their youngest daughter, Joyce Ladd Sexton, born in 1955. Now, I couldn't really find anything out about Joyce. I did see that Linda was, or maybe still is, a writer. She has some credits in writing for herself. And her family, guys, they just did not have it easy at all. And I say family because I do believe that her husband took a pretty good deal of the, what's the word I'm looking for? He took a pretty good brunt of all of the verbal abuse that she lashed out onto the children as well. They had a lot to do with her. Anne was just not a well woman, apparently. She would physically and verbally abuse her children. And I think her husband may have gotten some of the verbal tongue lashing as well. Now, here is why this video is dark and disturbing. It's because as bad as the physical and verbal abuse is, and it is bad because you can get over the physical pain, but you'll carry those verbal assaults forever. But the only thing worse than that is that her children were S.A.'d. I had to catch myself. Her children were S.A.'d. By who? Their own mother. Yes, you heard me. Anne Sexton S.A.'d her own children. It never seems to shock me when I hear about anybody essaying anyone. It can be adult to child, it can be child to child, it can be, people you don't know. That's awful. But I think when I hear about a woman do it, it is just, that's just unfathomable to me. And I think a lot of it has to do with we as women, generally speaking, are nurturers. So when she, apparently, I still feel the need to say allegedly, although I guess I shouldn't have to say it since it was written about in Anne's own hand. But I just for the sake from, getting any type of copyright or whatever, I'll say allegedly. But yes, Anne Sexton allegedly S.A.'d both her daughters, but I believe Linda got the worst of it. Now, in the biography I read about her, it was said that her husband was there all the way till, they were together no more. But online, I seen things, and they were saying that they divorced. So, this is my opinion here. I believe that at some point, Alfred, Anne's husband, the father of their children, may have left the marriage, left home. But I believe he ultimately decided to go back because he knew he needed to be there, if for no other reason than for the sake of the children. And I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, Anne and Alfred, that is, in that I think maybe in the beginning they were in love and they loved each other. I think that when it was all said and done, they still loved each other, but it just turned into something much deeper and darker and disturbing. So on October 4th, 1974, Anne Sexton deleted herself at the age of 45. So I don't, like I said about the marriage thing, I don't know if they were married at the time or not, but that is the day she left this earth. Now, my commentary on this video is probably longer than the content, but like I said, that's the best I could do on this one. So, book connectors. Have you ever read anything by her? If you have, how did you like it? If you did like it, tell us why or why not if you didn't like it. And would you recommend us or anybody reading her works? Just curious, just wanted to know. But this wraps this video up, book connectors. We've done it. We've completed another video under the book connection. Yay for us. So if I have any subscribers out there, thank you so much for being subscribed. Visitors, feel free to join us. And everyone, please, oh please, make sure you like, share, comment respectfully, and by all means, make sure you have your notification bells turned on so you will receive any video whenever I upload them. And in the meantime, book connectors, remember this: as long as there are books around, there's always something to read. And until we read again, be safe out there, book connectors, and God bless.